All right, if we could all rise and raise your glass. Here's a toast to the 250th birthday to the greatest war machine ever built. Semper Fi. Ching ching, ching ching. We didn't ching ching, ching ching.
You go.
All right, you may be seated. All right, I'm now going to introduce a special guest up here. He is the speaker for the night. His name is John Henry, a native of Riddleton, Tennessee. He is married to Renee, and they have 2 children and a grandson that is 8 years old. He's a retired Sergeant Major in the Marine Corps after 27 years, 9 months of service. He served in all 4 elements of the Marine Air-Ground Task Force: infantry, logistics, air, headquarters units. He also served as a drill instructor at Parris Island, a formal schools instructor, and a platoon sergeant at Officers Candidate School for the summer. He served in Desert Storm, Operation Iraqi Freedom twice, and Operation Enduring Freedom. He holds an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, 2 master's degrees, and is currently a PhD candidate. Currently, he is the manager of field leadership with Bridgestone. I now welcome him to the podium.
I would love to know if I have to use the mic. Can you hear me in the back over there?
Sure.
How clearly?
Yeah, we're good.
How about over here? Can you hear me good?
Good.
Man, that means I get to free up my arms, get to fly around. Hurrah! Happy birthday! Yeah! Woo! 250 fighting years, man, I love it. Listen, before I have an aneurysm and fall over and die, I mean, this is 250 years. Oh, I still am in awe that we're here. But one thing happens, we know the Corps is going to stay whether they like it or not, right?
Right.
I know, absolutely. Well, my beautiful bride's here, and coming the end of this year, she'll be married to me for 36 years. How about that one?
All right.
Okay. Of those 36 years, 27, almost 28 years were with me in the Marine Corps. Now think about that for a second. Right? Oh, I know. Boy, I almost want to do some push-ups thinking about it, right? So here's the deal. I finished high school, barely, and she's like, John, what are you going to do? I'm like, well, darn, man, I'm joining the Corps. God's honest truth is what she said. When are we leaving? I said, what now? I mean, I'm from a small farm. We raise feeder pigs, tobacco, hay, row crops. We know what work is on the farm. Yeah. And I'm like, I need a break. I'm getting out of here. So I joined the Corps, right? Listen, she's got stories for you. You got to meet I call her the general, just to be honest with you. But in all honesty, my wife could befriend a private's wife. She could talk to a general just like he was anybody. He would listen to general. She would listen to generals' wives like they were one of her. An incredible human being that I married that long ago. And for her to stay with me after all those deployments and all that, I have no idea. I like to think if I could give her any medal, it'd be a humanitarian medal, just to be honest with you. So anyway, I'm truly grateful to be here and to be your guest of honor, really just guest. There's no honor, I'm just a knucklehead. But to be here with you all to celebrate. We got a lot of things going on in our life right now, but to stop what's going on right now with us, we're going 1,000 miles an hour. I was in a parade at Crossville this morning. Hey, and you Marines, I got my alphas. Now, you're thinking, holy cow. Now, for the Marines, your dress blues aren't a form-fitting uniform. Or I say they're not supposed to be. Your alphas are a form-fitting uniform. And you all know why. Why are alphas form-fitting, Marines? Because we check in our alphas. Every time we check into a new duty station, right? Gunny, hey, go put your alphas on. Or, if you didn't check in, why aren't you in your alphas, right? I got in them jokers. But I said, don't anybody get in front of me, because these are projectiles, and they could pop off at any minute. Woo! We were there. I got to walk in a few more parades. Again, we got big things going on in our life right now. I'm looking to continue to serve, but we're not talking about politics right now. We're talking about the Marine Corps. I know. Give me a big hurrah! Man, I'll tell you, we're walking down the parade route, and every time I see some kid, 6, 7, 8 years old, I say, hey, you want to give me some push-ups? And they're like, well, what? Hey, I said you want to give me some push-ups. So they start pushing up. You all know the deal. I'd start right in the middle of the parade. 1, 2, 3. Come on now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's right, baby. We just kept going. Yeah, I love it, right? I'm telling you, I love it. Grateful. My last duty station was over in Okinawa, Japan. Blessed to be the director at the academy on Camp Hansen there. Truly a blessing. Had about 40 Marines, most of them instructors. I get to pick the best instructors of all the Far East. So they come through the academy, they come through the Staff Sergeant course, the career course, or they come through the advanced course, the gunnery sergeants. If I like them, a colonel. I want Bigsby to come work for me. Oh, whoa, Sergeant Major, you can't do that. What? It can go one of two ways, Colonel. I love you like a brother, but I want Bigsby. So either he gives him orders, or the next night goes, hey, General, I need Bigsby. And guess what? The academy, and we had the best, think about it, the best hand-picked Marines on the whole island. I get to pick them. And boy, I had a great bunch of Marines. So I want you all to tell you a little story, but I want you all to help me with this, okay? The story goes that a Marine had a very mischievous teenage boy, son. And he bought a lie detector that if you were close proximity, it could react and know if the person speaking was lying. And it went, so for example, if I said my hair is blue, it'd go, eh. Can everybody here go, eh? All right, so my hair is blue. I like it. I love this. This is good. So the son comes in. He says, hey, son. So, where have you been? Well, Dad, I've been to the cinema. You're right. You're right, Dad. I wasn't with the cinema. I was out with my friends, and we were on the back of a pickup truck. Y'all got to get louder now. Come on, dogs. He said, so, you weren't at the cinema? You weren't on the back of the pickup truck smoking? So where were you at? Well, Dad, honestly, we were out having a little alcohol. He goes, what? You're only 15 years old. When I was 15 years old, I never touched alcohol. His mother looks over and goes, that boy's just like his father. Not his father, not good. Listen, so that was probably not a good joke. I'll just let you. But I liked y'all communicating with me, just to be honest with you. So I'll be honest. Last couple of months, I was grateful to see the Secretary of War. I just want to say it again. Secretary of War. Secretary of War. I just want to keep saying it. Golly, that's motivating. Secretary of War. War. Yeah. Roger that. I was thinking, loved it. So he got in front of those generals, got in front of those senior enlisted. And let's be honest, you all know, when the general's up in front, did we give him hoorahs? We usually didn't say nothing when the general was up in front of us. Some generals didn't say a word. I like the way it started out. If you don't like what I'm saying, you can get up and leave. And then what? Then you're going to lose your rank. You're going to get fired. That was pretty awesome. But I want us to take back. Some of you all retired before 1990. But the Secretary of War said we have to get back to 1990. Now, I'm here because of the grace of our Almighty God. And that's the only reason I'm here. And most of you all can say the same thing. My time in war, I'm blessed by God Almighty that I'm here. Amen. But, yes, absolutely. You know what? Absolutely. We can't be here without our Lord Jesus Christ. But the reason I think he said 1990 is because our God, whether you like it or not, put President Trump in office for right now. I believe that. Because he said 1990, I came in January 1990. Literally 8 months after I joined the Marine Corps and went to boot camp, I was standing in the desert in Desert Storm. Well, at that time, it wasn't a Desert Storm. What was it? Desert Shield. We thought maybe it wouldn't go to Desert Storm. But you know, Marines, boy, we hope it was going to, baby. Come on. Messed up, baby. Blah! And he did. We got to fight a war, right? But he said 1990 for a very specific reason. And I think the reason he said that was, as a young Marine in January of 1990, I was trained by Vietnam veterans. And they all, if they were a staff sergeant above, gunner, yeah, I think so. Yes, absolutely. Those Marines knew what discipline was. And we felt it. And they let us know. Everything, no matter what, was about discipline. I don't care if it's inventory in your warehouse. I don't care if it's changing tracks on Amtrak or tanks. It was about discipline. If you don't have discipline, you die. But worse than you dying, other Marines die. You will have discipline. I left the Corps almost 28 years later. At that time, I didn't feel that we were losing our discipline. But in just 8 short years, what's happened? Across all, I felt like we've lost some discipline. Because the God Almighty had mercy on this country and made a non-politician president, He put somebody in there who's walked some of the dirt we've walked. And He said, we have to go back. And I believe 1990 was when we had the epitome of discipline in our Marine Corps. The time we knew that those Vietnam veterans were trained by World War II veterans. If we can get all those generals and all those senior enlisted were trained by Vietnam veterans. Got to get back to that type of training. And it's ugly. But it's not as ugly as holding your Marine in your arms when they die. And we must have discipline in our Corps. We must have discipline in our Army, in our Air Force, in our Coast Guard. And I would say Space Force, but I don't know nothing about the Space Force. We've got warriors among us here tonight. We've got warriors all over the nation. I want to start my own. Renee said, you should start your own. We should start our own news network. It's called GNN, Good News Network. And what I would play is all the service members out there today doing great things. About 7 years ago, Corporal, and you all probably remember this video. If you don't, this is your homework. It's the only time you go to a birthday ball and get homework. There's a young corporal who was standing in a supermarket, a 7-Eleven or something in Texas. And the person in front of him walked in, pulled his cap down, and pulled a pistol out. And this corporal, God's on, you all look this up. Corporal looks to the right, then he looks to the left, and he grabs that sucker, whoa, and throws him on the ground. It's the best thing I've ever seen in my life. And he held him down. That guy's hands were out, and he was shaking. He just held him on the ground. A corporal of Marines saw something and took action. I was like, replay. Yeah, replay again. Replay. Oh my gosh! I'd play that every night on GNN. Every night. Been out of the Corps for a while. But he knew what his duty was when duty called in a split second. I just need to look to the right and look to the left because I'm fixing to break this sucker neck on the floor. I kind of wish he did that before he. It was awesome. It was awesome. Powerful. But listen, I know I'm getting old. So I went to the doctor the other day. I said, hey, Doc, I'm a Marine, and I want to live to be 100 years old. He said, what? Ah, yeah! I know. Yeah, I love that. And he said, well, tell me, Sergeant Major, because he knows me, calls me Sergeant Major. Good man, I guess. He said, well, Sergeant Major, do you smoke? I said, nope. Man, I think I should have ended with that joke instead of starting with it, right? So he said, well, okay. Well, do you drink? I said, no. I don't drink. Anyway, so he said, so you don't smoke and you don't drink. He said, well, do you stay up late? No. Oh, that joke ended a while ago. I said, no, I get to bed on time. My wife makes sure. I mean, I eat right. I don't smoke. I don't drink. He said, well, gosh. Do you have crazy relations with promiscuous women? I said, no. He said, let me get this right. So you want to live to be 100 years old. You don't drink, you don't smoke, you don't stay up late, you don't hang out with the wrong women. Dead gum. Why in the world would you want to live to be 100 years old? Very good point. So I've spoken at a number of things, and tonight I don't have to talk about politics or my agenda or what I'm doing. Make sure, though, you come see Renee and get a card, because we got an uphill battle going on. But I speak at high schools, I speak at Veterans Days. Has nothing to do with politics, just about life. And I spoke in front of a high school the other day. They were having this big pep rally against the in-county rivalry. And I could tell some of the students weren't paying attention. I just shut them off. I started talking to the parents. And some of these parents obviously are in their 30s or 40s. And I addressed them and I said, listen, where are you at in life right now? Kind of like what I'm asking you. Where are you in your life right now? And I challenge those adults in the stands. If you have not conquered your dreams, if you've always wanted to be a doctor, or you've always wanted to be a lawyer, or you've always wanted to be a pipe fitter, or a plumber, or an electrician, for the love of God and everything that's in this world, do it. We're in America. Find a way to do it. Now, I will tell you, you're probably going to have to a little bit of an education. Renee told me, after I finished the Paris Islands of drill field, she said, John, you need to start taking classes. I said, whoa! I'm a Marine. I've just finished a drill instructor. I'm going out to attack the world, baby. I'm in time for school. No. You get tuition assistance. You need to go to college. Forget it! I'm a Marine. I have time for school. I know Albert Einstein. He didn't finish high school. He landed on the moon. She said, what? Albert Einstein didn't land on the moon, you idiot. So I took a class. And I took another class. And I took an evening class, and I took a lunch class, and I took a weekend class. And one thing I didn't tell you all is because of my wife's patience and tolerance, I started taking classes. When I finished drill field in 1998, and took a class every single semester, except for 3 years in the middle. And so from 1998 until next month, I would have taken a class every quarter for almost 30 years. And because of that, next month, I'll defend my dissertation and be a PhD. It's only because I said at 45 years old, I'm not done. I don't care how old you are tonight. You are not done. You're in America. And you have to keep going. Push yourself. That's why we're in the race we're in right now. So we've got a bunch of knuckleheads running for an office, and I don't like them. Now, there may be lawyers in here, and I may not like you. But I know there shouldn't be any more in D.C. So I'm doing something about it. If you're in these areas, and there's a school board position, dadgum, get on a school board. City council. County council. You're Marines. You got to keep serving. You're married to a Marine. You got to keep serving. We've got to have people stand up and serve. I know it because I've lived it. I did not want to stay up those late nights. I did not want to spend time away from my wife. I'd put my young babies to bed, kiss my wife, and go work on the laptop. Night after night after night. It's not easy. Life is not easy. Your combat tours, your times on Lejeune and Pendleton and Okinawa were not easy. But you did the tough things. Let me tell you what. I got a big realization. I spoke at an event yesterday, and I heard the lady come up. She said very clearly, please, all you veterans, when you shake my hand, please don't ever say, I only served 2 years. I only served 4 years. My daddy served. And he was away from us those years. He was away from us those years. He was away from me those years. So you may think it's only 2 years. You may think it's only 4 years. But you served your country. Don't ever say, I only served for 4 years. And tonight, I toast you for your 4 years, for your 34 years, for your 44 years. I don't care when you served. The one thing I do know, if you're here tonight, you're a Marine. And you served your time on the most elite fighting force on the planet. And we crawled through ditches in World War I. And we breathed the gas in World War I. And we fought in World War II. And we hit those beaches. And we fought those wars when nobody else would fight them. Don't ever tell Marines we can't do something. Ever. Some people tell me in my campaign, well, they have so much money, John. I don't care how much money you have. You'll never work harder than a Marine. You'll never walk more steps, shake more hands, or drive more miles. We're a crazy breed. What the devil's wrong with us? We fight. We fight and we die. If we don't die on the battlefield, God be with your soul. Don't kill yourself on this side. Don't take your life. Now, I'm tired of our Marines killing themselves. You make those calls and you wish a Marine. You find a Marine. You find the shoulder. You tell them soldiers, don't shoot yourself. Don't kill yourself. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. Don't you take your life. 21 a day. No! It's got to be us. It's got to be the Marine Corps League here. We have to find those veterans. You have to go to your county courthouse. You have to find a veteran. You have to make a call. And I don't care if you want to or not. Our Marines can't keep dying off the battlefield. It's in history. The generals have always done it. They went forward with their soldiers. Rome went forward with their soldiers. Carthaginians, you go way back to the Peloponnesian War. The generals went out and they fought. If they didn't die, they came home. But in that time, in the Peloponnesian War, when they came back home, what did they have to do with the soldiers? They had to send them out. And they had to do what when they went out? Make more soldiers for the next generation. It left the general there all by itself and the top commanders. And they could not tolerate it. And ceremoniously, they would walk out into an open field. And they would bury their sword that they just fought with their troops. And they would bury it in the sand. And it would fall on that sword. Because they could not tolerate being back home and not fighting their enemy. And that's a historical fact. And to this day, we have shell shock, PSD, because Marines and soldiers and sailors cannot come home. I've got Marines in Afghanistan. Sergeant Major, please extend me. Please leave me. I don't want to go home. It would break your heart. They just want to fight. What's wrong with us? Nothing's wrong with us. When the next fool messes up around this world, we'll be off their shore. We'll be off their shore. We'll be sharpening our swords. And we'll just pray that the president says, go. And we cannot lose them now. And we must do something about it. And as I end my story on a little bit of a smile, thank you all for taking that little recess of clarity. Let's have some fun. I don't know if you know, but the Commandant of the Marine Corps, General Lewis Wilson, once said, my favorite Marine Corps quote of all time at a Marine Corps ball. Some of you all may know it. But if you don't, another piece of your homework, after you watch that corporal slam that fool to the concrete, is go home and look this quote up. I love it because it's awesome. Back when a commandant could be a commandant and a Marine could be a Marine and not a stinking petty politician. So I'll read it and I'll finish with it. The wonderful love of a beautiful maid. The love of a staunch, true man. The love of a baby unafraid has existed since the beginning of time. But greater love, the quintessential of all loves, even the tender love of that of a mother, is the tender, passionate, infinite love of one drunk Marine for another. Is the love for one drunk Marine for another. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, raise your glasses, toast the Marine Corps, love your Marine Corps. Hurrah! To everyone.